Have you ever dreamed of working entirely for yourself, being your own boss and keeping all the profits of your hard work? It is a beautiful idea that we are all completely drawn to, especially when the regular 9-to-5 world feels so exhausting. We constantly see the massive viral headlines celebrating internet stars who became overnight millionaires simply by posting pictures and videos from their bedrooms. We see the glamorous luxury cars, the beautiful vacations, and the promises of absolute, total financial freedom. But today, we are going to talk about what is really happening behind the scenes of one of the most controversial and highly profitable websites on the internet. It is a story about a massive hidden wealth gap, the brilliant illusion of creator empowerment, and how one single person managed to build an absolute empire by completely outsourcing all of the risk. Welcome back to Money's Hidden Past, where we always look past the complicated corporate jargon and figure out how the global economy really works in our everyday lives. Today, we are looking very closely at OnlyFans and the completely fascinating economics of the digital adult entertainment industry. And we are going to gently break down exactly why the beautiful promise of creative independence might actually just be the ultimate modern corporate cheat code for the people running the platform. We will explore how a massive digital underclass is fighting over tiny crumbs, while a silent billionaire quietly collects hundreds of millions of dollars without ever filming a single video. But before we jump into the numbers and explore this wild digital world together, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Leave a friendly comment down below and let me know if you think the gig economy is actually empowering workers or just exploiting them in a brand new way. Your support truly means the world to me, and it helps this video reach more people who might find this conversation helpful and eye-opening. Let us rewind just a little bit and look at how this massive financial machine actually operates. When OnlyFans first exploded into the mainstream cultural conversation a few years ago, it was aggressively marketed as a safe and empowering space for creators. The pitch was incredibly simple and beautifully compelling. Instead of working for a shady traditional entertainment studio that controls your image and takes all your money, you can completely own your own business. You set your own monthly subscription price. You decide exactly what kind of content you want to make, and you connect directly with your biggest fans. And in exchange for providing the secure website and processing the credit card payments, the platform simply takes a flat 20% cut of your earnings. On paper, that 80-20 split sounds incredibly fair and very generous. Especially when you compare it to the highly exploitative traditional industries of the past, the creator gets to keep the vast majority of their money, and the platform takes a small fee for keeping the digital lights on. But to truly understand the absolute terrifying genius of this specific business model, you have to completely zoom out and look at the sheer unimaginable scale of the math. We are not just talking about a few thousand people sharing videos with their friends. There are currently over 4.6 million active creators on the platform, scrambling for attention every single day. And those creators are completely driving a massive, unyielding ocean of physical fiat capital through the website. Last year alone, fans spent over $7.2 billion on the platform buying monthly subscriptions, sending direct tips and unlocking pay-per-view messages. Now, when you apply that simple, non-negotiable 20% flat tax to $7.2 billion, the math becomes absolutely staggering. That simple little platform fee instantly mathematically converts into over $1.4 billion in pure gross revenue for the company. The platform does not have to actively do anything to earn that massive pile of money. They have essentially positioned themselves as the absolute ultimate digital landlord of the modern internet. A physical landlord has to actually build an apartment building, fix the leaky roofs, pay the property taxes, and deal with the physical maintenance of the property. But a digital landlord simply writes a few lines of computer code, sets up a payment processing gateway, and then sits back and collects a mandatory toll on every single dollar that passes through their digital gates. They have completely monopolized the digital infrastructure of human intimacy. And the most brilliant part of this entire corporate structure is what we call in economics the complete privatization of profit and the total outsourcing of risk. Let us think about how a traditional media or entertainment studio actually operates in the real physical world. If a massive studio wants to make a movie or a television show, they have to carry a tremendous amount of operational and financial liability. They have to pay for the expensive camera equipment. They have to rent the physical studio space. They have to hire makeup artists and lighting technicians. They have to spend millions of dollars on global marketing campaigns to convince people to actually watch the product. And most importantly, they have to provide their workers with some basic level of physical security, legal protection, and maybe even health insurance if the movie completely flops and nobody watches it. The massive studio takes a huge financial loss and eats the cost of production. But OnlyFans has completely magically erased every single one of those traditional corporate liabilities. The platform pays absolutely $0 for video production. They pay $0 for the expensive ring lights, the high-quality digital cameras, the sexy outfits, and the physical internet connections. They completely refuse to spend any of their massive corporate treasury on marketing, the individual creators. Instead, they force the 4.6 million creators to spend all of their own free time desperately promoting themselves on Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok, just to bring paying customers back to the platform the company carries absolutely zero operational liability because they do not legally employ a single one of the people actually making the product. The creators are all legally classified as independent contractors. This means the company provides absolutely zero health insurance, zero paid time off, and zero income security for the people actually generating their billions of dollars in revenue. And perhaps most importantly, the platform completely shields itself from the massive personal and psychological risks of the adult entertainment industry when a young creator decides to upload highly intimate videos to the internet. That digital footprint exists permanently forever. That young person takes on 100% of the real-world social stigma. They are the ones who might lose their traditional day job. They are the ones who might face brutal harassment online. And they are the ones who carry the heavy psychological burden of being a public figure. If a creator completely burns out from the exhausting digital grind or faces a massive mental health crisis, the platform simply shrugs its corporate shoulders and moves on to the next hopeful creator. Waiting in line, the creator takes on absolutely 100% of the financial, reputational, and emotional risk. While the platform takes a guaranteed, mathematically risk-free 20% cut of every single transaction. It is the exact same gig economy model used by companies like Uber or DoorDash, but put on absolute steroids. They have completely separated the messy physical reality of human labor from the pristine mathematical reality of corporate profit. And this massive structural imbalance leads us to the most heartbreaking part of the entire digital illusion: the massive reality gap between what the media portrays and what the average hardworking creator actually experiences. If you only read the shiny viral news articles, you would think that everyone on the platform is making tens of thousands of dollars a month. The media loves to heavily promote the absolute top 0.01% of creators, celebrities who join the platform and make $1 million in 24 hours because they already have a massive global fan base. But those massive outlier success stories are basically functioning as free lottery advertisements for the platform. They trick millions of desperate ordinary people into thinking that absolute financial freedom is just one viral post away. But the leaked data and independent economic studies paint a completely different and very sobering picture of the platform. The vast, overwhelming majority of those 4.6 million creators are not making enough money to pay their rent or buy a new car. The average creator on the platform makes a very meager $130 to $180 a month before taxes. They are putting their absolute most intimate private lives on the public internet, exposing themselves to permanent digital risks, all for a few extra dollars to help buy groceries or pay off student loans. They are fighting a brutal, exhausting algorithm trying to stand out in a massive sea of millions of other hopeful creators, all battling for the exact same limited pool of subscription money. It is an incredibly lonely and difficult digital underclass that is quietly powering a multi-billion-dollar machine. And while millions of everyday gig workers are exhausting themselves for absolute pennies, someone at the very top is quietly collecting the winnings. This brings us to the single silent billionaire who actually owns the platform. A businessman named Leonid Radvinsky. Unlike the heavily scrutinized tech billionaires in Silicon Valley, who are constantly giving interviews and testifying in front of Congress, Radvinsky keeps a completely remarkably low profile. He does not film any content, he does not run massive social media accounts, and he does not have to deal with any of the terrible social stigma that his creators face every single day. He simply sits quietly at the very top of the massive digital toll booth, collecting the mandatory 20% tax on human connection, and the amount of wealth he has completely extracted from the system is almost too massive to actually comprehend. While the average creator is taking home less than $200 a month, Radvinsky has reportedly paid himself over $1 billion in direct corporate dividends. Over the last few years, let that completely sink in for a moment, one single individual human being has personally pocketed hundreds of millions of dollars a year in pure liquid cash, all generated by the exhausting, highly stigmatized physical labor of millions of people who are completely desperate to achieve financial independence. He has successfully executed the absolute ultimate modern corporate cheat code. He holds zero physical inventory, he manages zero physical labor liability, and he completely avoids the messy reality of the product he sells. He has built a massive high-margin, passive income machine that relies entirely on the psychological loneliness of the fans and the financial desperation of the creators. When you really sit down and look at the actual math behind the platform, it completely changes the way you view the entire creator empowerment narrative. OnlyFans is not actually a revolutionary tool for absolute financial independence. It is simply a highly optimized, highly efficient digital landlord collecting mandatory rent from a massive digital underclass of gig workers. They have successfully commodified human intimacy and built a system where the house absolutely mathematically always wins. The creators are doing all of the hard, physical, emotional, and promotional labor, but the silent billionaire at the top is the only one truly achieving the dream of absolute financial freedom. It is so incredibly important to have these honest, open conversations about how these massive digital systems actually work, because the internet is constantly trying to sell us a beautiful packaged dream. It tells us that if we just hustle harder, post more often, and share more of our private lives, we will finally achieve success, but we have to be smart enough to look behind the curtain and see who is actually collecting the toll money. We have to recognize when a system is fundamentally designed to extract our thermodynamic energy, rather than actually reward it. And we need to have deep empathy for the millions of people who are just trying to survive in an increasingly difficult and completely expensive modern world. The next time you see a massive viral headline about a creator making millions of dollars, just remember the millions of invisible people standing quietly behind them, making almost nothing at all while powering a billionaire's passive income. If you found this friendly and honest look at the hidden economics of the creator industry helpful, and if it gave you a better understanding of how the gig economy truly operates behind the shiny digital curtain, please do me a massive favor and hit that like button right now. It really helps this channel grow and lets the completely automated algorithm know that these honest, thoughtful conversations really matter to people like you. Share this video with a friend who is interested in economics, or maybe someone who is thinking about joining the gig economy so they can go into it with a healthy and informed mindset. We are going to keep looking deeply into the fascinating hidden stories behind money technology and how they constantly affect our daily lives. And I absolutely cannot wait to share the next interesting chapter with you. Until next time, remember to take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Stay curious, ask really good questions, and always remember that true financial freedom should never require you to sacrifice your peace of mind or your permanent digital privacy. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today, and I will see you in the next video.